Welcome to Explore Notice. Have you ever pondered why money doesn't come with a user guide? Perhaps it's because some blunders are so expensive they make diamonds appear as mere pebbles. Here we take you through a world of astoundingly costly mistakes that strike it rich, but in the wrong way. We're discussing billion-dollar typos, regretful pizzas, and click of buttons that have shaped history. These aren't your everyday oops incidents. They're the ones that make you wish money was just paper. So fasten your seatbelts as we are about to plunge into an ocean of gold, only to lose it all. Ever made a typo? Bet it didn't cost you $2 billion. Now we've all been there typing away, only to realize we've accidentally declared our love for pubic transportation in an office email. Embarrassing? Yes. A $2 billion mistake? Thankfully, no. Let me take you back to 2005 in the land of the rising sun, Japan. Mizuho Securities, a major player in the financial world, was all set to sell a single share of a company called JCOM for 610,000 yen. That's around $5,000, give or take. But someone at Mizuho had their morning coffee swapped for decaf, because they ended up flipping the numbers around. Instead of selling one share for 610,000 yen, they sold 610,000 shares for 1 yen each. Yes, that's less than a penny per share. Now you might be thinking, surely someone would have caught this mistake. Well, not exactly. In a comedy of errors, the computer system tried to stop the transaction, but the humans in the loop ignored the alerts. They thought, nah, computers, what do they know? Well, computers know when you're about to lose $2 billion, that's for sure. By the time the humans realized their mistake, it was too late. The shares were sold, and Mizuho was left with a hole in their pocket the size of a $2 billion typo. The aftermath was as chaotic as you'd expect. The Tokyo Stock Exchange got a tongue lashing for allowing the trade to go through, and the CEO of Mizuho Securities resigned in shame. Meanwhile, some traders had the best day of their lives, buying shares for pennies and selling them for thousands. So let this be a lesson to all you fast typers out there. Slow down, double check, and for the love of all that is holy, make sure your ones and zeros are in the right places. Because next time you misspell duck, just remember, it could be a lot worse. Ever regret spending too much on dinner? How about spending 10,000 bitcoins on a pizza? Yes, you heard that right. 10,000 shiny digital coins for one saucy, cheesy, delicious pie. In today's dough, I mean dough as in money, not pizza dough, that would amount to over $400 million. A programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz, no doubt a pizza lover, made this historic transaction back in May 2010. Back then, bitcoins were just a new form of digital currency, not the investment goldmine they've become today. Laszlo had mined about 10,000 of these bitcoins, but what good is virtual money if you can't buy real edible food with it, right? So he made a proposal on an online forum, 10,000 bitcoins in exchange for 2 large pizzas. A fellow forum member accepted the deal, ordered the pizzas for him, and Laszlo sent over the bitcoins. Easy peasy, pizza cheesy. At that time, the value of those 10,000 bitcoins was about $40, which is a pretty reasonable price for 2 large pizzas, if you ask me. But here's the twist. As we all know, the value of Bitcoin exploded. It skyrocketed into the stratosphere, reaching dizzying heights. If Laszlo had held on to his 10,000 Bitcoins, he would be sitting on a fortune of over $400 million today. That's a lot of pizza dough, and I mean both kinds of dough this time. So what's the morale of the story? Hold on to your Bitcoins, folks. You never know when they might turn into a fortune. And while we're at it, let's spare a moment for our friend Laszlo. He may have made the most expensive food purchase in history, but he also made a revolutionary transaction that paved the way for Bitcoin's use in everyday commerce. So, next time you're feeling guilty about that extra topping, just remember, at least it didn't cost you $400 million. Ever misplaced your car keys? How about misplacing a whole ship? Imagine this. The year is 1628 and you're in Sweden, standing on the shores, witnessing the launch of the Vasa ship. A grand spectacle, a testament to the nation's naval prowess. A ship so majestic, so magnificent that it was destined to rule the seas. Oh, the pride that swelled in the hearts of the Swedes that day. But here's where the plot thickens. The Vasa didn't even make it out of the harbor. That's right, folks. The ship, which was equivalent to $150 million in today's money, sank on its maiden voyage. You heard it right, $150 million down the drain, or should I say down the sea. So what was the oopsie that sunk this ship? It wasn't a terrifying sea monster or a violent storm. Nope, it was a gust of wind. A gust of wind. The ship's design was so flawed that it couldn't withstand a mere breeze. Talk about a sinking feeling. And who was the mastermind behind this maritime disaster? None other than King Gustavus Adolphus. The king, who was off fighting a war, insisted on having 64 bronze cannons aboard the ship. The weight of these cannons, combined with the poor design, made the ship top-heavy. So, when the wind blew, the ship tipped, water rushed in through the open lower gun portals, and down went the Vasa. The king, who was expecting news of a triumphant maiden voyage, instead received word of his precious warship resting at the bottom of the harbor. Now there's a royal blunder for you. The Vasa ship is a classic example of how not to build a ship, a $150 million lesson in naval architecture. Today, it rests in the Vasa Museum in Stockholm, a silent reminder of the Oopsie that sunk a ship. So remember, next time you can't find your car in the parking lot, at least you didn't lose a $150 million ship. Ever accidentally sent an email to the wrong person? How about accidentally sending $500 million into oblivion? Yeah, you heard me right. $500 million, gone with one click of a button. You thought it was bad when you sent that awkward text to your boss instead of your bestie. Well, buckle up, folks. This is the story of the most expensive button click ever. Picture this. It's a typical day in the world of high-stakes trading. The smell of coffee hangs in the air, the hum of computers fills the room, and traders are hunched over their terminals, eyes darting across the screens. One trader, let's call him Bob, is about to make a move in the gold market. He's a seasoned pro, been doing this for years, but today, Bob isn't quite on his game. With a single click, Bob places an order. Now, normally, this wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, it's just a button click, right? But this wasn't any ordinary click. This was a fat finger click. Instead of trading the amount he intended, Bob accidentally trades $500 million. Yes, folks, you heard that right. Bob just fat-fingered $500 million into the abyss. The result? Complete and utter chaos. The gold market takes a nosedive, traders are scrambling, and Bob is probably wishing he'd stayed in bed that day. It's like a scene from a Wall Street horror movie, only it's happening in real life. And the moral of this story? Always double-check before you click. Or better yet, triple-check. Because while Bob's blunder might be the stuff of trading legend, it's also a stark reminder of the power of a single click. So next time you accidentally like your ex's photo from 2013, just remember, at least you didn't crash the gold market. Well, folks, as we've seen today, money can't buy common sense. From billion-dollar typos to the priciest pizza party ever, the world is full of hilarious yet costly blunders. Trust me, it's not always about the size of the ship, but the oopsie that sinks it. And let's not forget that one click that could wipe out your bank account faster than you can say, "I'm broke." So remember, next time you make a mistake, just laugh it off, because at least you didn't lose billions. All right, folks, buckle up because we're not done yet. We've talked about the most expensive pizza, the billion-dollar typo, and even the costliest button click. But have you ever wondered about the most expensive oops moment in history? In 2012, a trader at JP Morgan Chase, infamously known as the London Whale, made a series of risky bets that resulted in a whopping $6.2 billion loss. Yes, you heard it right, $6.2 billion. Now that's an oopsie that makes the rest look like pocket change. So the next time you make an oops moment, remember the London Whale and count your blessings. And that's it for our video. Please like and subscribe for more stories of expensive blunders, and remember, money can't buy common sense, but it can sure make for some entertaining stories. Until next time.